What up, 567? Today we are going to be talking about God and how He provides for us in any kind of circumstances. How He can mend broken relationships, and how He can use all of our situations and our circumstances, everything that we go through, for His plan and for His purpose. So I'm excited. Let's get going. So I want you guys to think about a time that maybe you were really, really surprised by someone or by some sort of circumstance, something that happened that took you off guard, that made you surprised, right? Like this emoji right here. One of my most recent and biggest surprises recently was when my brother and his wife Brandy, so we've got Chris and Brandy, right? They told the family that they were pregnant, and it was so exciting. We were filled with joy and we were happy, but we were surprised, right? We didn't know that this was going to happen. We didn't know that they were going to be having another baby, but we were excited. We were surprised. So now I want you to think about your surprise and think about how you reacted when they told us the news. That they were pregnant, that they're going to be having another child. We were so happy. We were filled with joy, right? We responded in that way. At first we were like, what? But then after that, we were excited, right? Well, today we're talking about Joseph. And Joseph's brothers, we know, sold him, right? They sold him, and they didn't ever think that they were going to see him again. But they were in for a big surprise. There's this famine and there's not a lot of food. And so Joseph's dad sends his brothers to Egypt to try to purchase some food. And that's where we start out in this story. P.S. That's where Joseph is. He's in Egypt. So we find Joseph as second in command there in Egypt, which is amazing and remarkable for how old he was and everything like that. Just this entire story, this is really neat that he is second in charge. So they come in asking for food, and Joseph sees them and he knows them. He knows who they are. They don't recognize him as who he was. They didn't think that they were gonna see him again. And so he sends all the Egyptians out and he tells them who he is, that he's Joseph. What we find next though is that his brothers, they weren't so excited like my family was when we found out that we were going to be getting a new addition to the family. They were actually quite terrified in verse 3. See, Joseph now, he had the power to literally crush them. He had the power. He was second in command, right? And they knew that. They knew that he had the power, and they knew what they had done to him in the past. But here's the kicker. See, Joseph knew that God's hand was in this and that there was a purpose for this. And so because Joseph knew this, we see what happens next. Joseph tells them, this famine is going to continue, and God sent me here early so that I could bring you guys here and we wouldn't all perish, that we wouldn't all die in this famine. And so he sees God's purpose in this. And sometimes when we're in circumstances, when we just don't understand why God would put us there, we can see God's hand moving in these moments. Sometimes it's right when we're in it. Sometimes it's when we look back at what happened, right? Joseph probably didn't really see what was happening when he got thrown into the pit. But standing there, seeing his brothers, seeing what was happening, he understood that God had a purpose, that God had a plan, and that God could get him through it. So God can use the worst of circumstances for good, for his purpose. God can use the circumstances. He is in control. So Joseph tells his brothers, he says, listen, go back to our dad, go back to Jacob, and tell him, all your families, all your livestock, bring them. I'm going to find a place for you guys, okay? I'm going to take care of you guys in this moment. Joseph had seen God keep his word, right? And so he knows that his brothers and his family is going to perish from this famine if he doesn't help them out. And so that's what he does. Just like God provided for the needs of this family, God provides for us and our needs in many different circumstances, and he will and can sustain us. He has a plan for you and for me. Okay, so after all of this, Pharaoh tells Joseph to tell the brothers, go get everybody from Canaan, bring them back here. Whatever they can't bring, we'll replace with, the things that we have in Egypt. But go get everybody, bring them back here. I'll give you good land. We're going to take care of you. But Joseph says one thing right here. He says, guys, it's the last thing I'm going to say before you hit the road to go get them and bring them back. Do not quarrel on the trip. Basically, this just means don't argue, don't fight, don't be nasty to each other. Don't be arguing on the way. Come on, I'm helping you out. Help me out right here. Don't pick fights. How many of y'all be picking fights on this whole week we had off with your brothers and sisters? How many of y'all were quarreling at home? Be honest. Be honest. So the brothers get to Jacob, dad, right? And they tell him, yo, I've got some awesome news, right? Like, our brother is alive. Crazy, yeah. We don't know what happened, but he's in Egypt and he's like in charge. He's like a ruler. He's awesome. They didn't really tell him about the whole shoving him in a pit and selling him, but they did get to deliver some happy news to him. And so Jacob comes back, and he was a little skeptical, of course. Like, he thought that his son had been dead for a long time. So let's think about relationships here for a second. So maybe it's at school, maybe it's at home, but sometimes we can kind of crumple up and mess up relationships, and we do things and we hurt people, and we might say things because it's not just always our actions, but sometimes our words, and we mess things up sometimes in relationships. I want you to think about, what are some steps you can take to restore a relationship? Joseph being on that side of this relationship, right? He technically in this situation didn't do anything wrong. A lot of wrong was done to him, right, by his brothers. The whole messy relationship, things happened, and he had every right in this human thought process, in our human minds. He had every single right to be upset and mad and angry and furious with his brothers. And he showed grace and he showed mercy, and he was able to restore relationships with his family. And man, sometimes it's hard for us even thinking about restoring relationships with somebody at school that said that your hair was turned up sideways, right? Like, he didn't do anything wrong. Maybe you didn't do anything wrong. Things were done wrong to you. God can help you restore relationships with people. So maybe what are the steps that you need to take to restore some relationships in your life? Whether that be with family or with friends. Is there a time that you saw God take a bad situation and turn it for good? There's been lots of times when God has taken a bad situation in my eyes and made something great out of it. So God, he can use the worst circumstances, no matter what's going on. He can use that for his purpose, his plan. And in our eyes, it might seem like everything's falling apart. It might be a pandemic where everybody's wearing masks. But God has a plan and God has a purpose. He can provide for our needs. right? He provides for our needs constantly, consistently, throughout our lives. In any situation. And God, He can restore broken relationships. And I don't know, maybe your relationship with God right now isn't as mended as you would like it to be. Maybe right now, your relationship with God seems like that's the thing that is a little broken. I want you to take some time and to think about, how are you truly following after God? What are you doing to know God more? What are you doing to share God more? Guys, I love you, and I'm praying for you. And if you need anything, I'm always here. As we wrap up with the end of this story, know that God is in control of our situations and our circumstances, and He always will be.